Hi, guys. This is Lydia, the lifestyle coach, and welcome to another live feed. So excited. It's Wednesday, and so we're doing a live feed in our group because that's what we do, maybe for the rest of my life. Probably not, but while limited time offer, while supplies last, you can come into the group and on Wednesdays see a live feed on another awesome topic. And, you guys just, you're such an inspiration. The questions you ask, the clients that I'm coaching, the things that come up, I want to just give you what is just most useful. And so we've got, man, I've got a list of so many things we could talk about, but today we're talking about something that is just such an urgent thing because it's a lot of times a thing that keeps us in that food prison. So feel free to comment, to ask questions. You can do little reaction thingies. You can do whatever. But I am Lydia, the lifestyle coach, and I help people be free from food crazies using nothing but their own brain. And our topic today is about the 6 fears that come up so often and how they keep you in food prison. So if you guys have other fears that are on your mind or that have, kept you back or just sort of something that's been at you or something that's held you back, feel free to comment. Or if you're just relating to the fears that I'm talking about today, or if they're a little bit different for you, comment on that too, because this is just really good data about the things that hold us back, and understanding what that is helps us to know what to focus in on to just bust through those and move forward, right? But I think that a lot of these are going to resonate with you guys, and tell me if not too. Just that's fine, whatever it is. But just wanted to share with you these 6 fears that come up so often. So, I had so many fears that held me back during all my, crazy days of bulimia. And, there was just a lot. There were a lot of questions in my mind, and there were a lot of things that really held me back from just, I was trying so hard, but I still had this fear that kept me back in a lot of ways. And so I can relate to all of these. This is something that I see come up so often. So ready? Fear number 1. I have to have my life figured out. So when you stop binge eating, you see that you can start living your life. Binge eating, a lot of times it puts relationships on hold and opportunities on hold. You just can't see yourself being in a relationship with somebody while you're eating 10,000 calories a night. And when you're so miserable, you can't see yourself going for, that job or traveling, because you know that you would just ruin it with food. But you also don't know yet what you want out of life fully. And so you feel like it has to be perfect. And so you don't end the cycle until you know what you want out of life and what that will be like. Here's the truth. None of the women that I have helped get free have had their lives figured out. But their life is often on pause. So giving yourself the chance to figure out your life doesn't mean that you have to figure it out all at once. In fact, you can never figure out your life in advance. Look at the real experience from your life. When have you ever figured out exactly how your life would go and it actually went that way? The best way to experience your life is to just live it. Get the obstacles out of the way. You don't have to have it figured out in advance, but your life figures itself out once you stop the things that are holding you back from living your life. Number 2, I have no idea what my life looks like without binging. So maybe you have absolutely no memory of having a normal relationship with food. Maybe this has always been present in your life. And it's the devil that you know, right? It's horrible, but it's familiar. And because we can't imagine a life without it, we stay in the cycle. Truth. So many women that I coach are totally surprised by what freedom is like. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's fun and it's awesome. But literally, it's just getting you back. And that is a really natural process, you guys. For instance, I had a client tell me the other day that she thought that it would be so hard. She was really scared about man, what is it like to just have all of my thoughts back during the day? She had no idea how she was going to fill the hours that she spent binge eating. And now that she's binge free, she just noticed, she's oh, it's not a big deal. I'm just a lot happier and I'm way more productive. And just without trying, her business has grown a lot because she's just has more time. It fills itself in. So your real life just fills itself in. You don't have to know how it's going to go. So fear number 3. I have to accept my body before I can end the cycle. So you feel like you have to accept your body, but you don't feel good about your body. Like you don't feel like you can accept it. So you feel like you have to change your body in order to accept it. So you try to restrict to lose weight, but that actually makes the binging worse. And then you gain more weight. And then it feels even harder to accept your body. But you feel like you have to accept your body before you can end the cycle. See how this goes? So, truth, I have a whole series on debunking diets, and that would be a great thing to look at if this is a fear coming up for you. Number 4, how will I cope with my emotions? You feel like you've always turned to food for comfort. So what happens when you don't have that anymore? Will there just be like this abyss of emotion that is just going to swallow you up? Isn't it better to just eat this one last time so you don't have to feel this way? Truth. I totally used to believe this, you guys. I remember standing in front of the pantry being so incredibly sad and thinking that binging was not a big deal compared to how difficult it was to feel the sadness that I was feeling at that moment. And it totally, before I knew how to be free, it totally carried me into a binge. So I used to totally believe this until I realized that binging didn't help me cope with anything. It just numbed me for like 30 minutes and then gave me way more terribleness to deal with afterward. Like if I thought that I was sad before, well, now we have 2 problems because I just binged. It helped me cope with my emotions to not binge, because binging, or like not having the binge to deal with, actually gave me way more energy so I could just deal with my real life. So I have a client that actually sent me a message just a couple of days ago, and she deals with a lot of anxiety along with the binge eating, or she did deal with the binge eating, but now she's done. But she has a lot of anxiety, and she thought that she dealt with that anxiety with the binging. Well, she's binge free now, and she just shared this experience. Like, again, it's like not a big deal, right? She was just like, man, I had a lot of anxiety, but I didn't want to binge. And she knows exactly how to not do that. Like, she doesn't have that compulsion. She can just step out of it now. She's like, but I didn't want to binge, so I just worked out instead, and I feel a lot better. Like, it was great. It was a great way to just sort of like help with the anxiety. Like, she actually did what made her feel better instead of doing what made her feel worse. And now she's actually using what I taught her for her anxiety. That's a whole another level of awesome. But like the first things first, like let's get the binging out of the way, but then you can just deal with stuff directly. Okay. 5. Part of me enjoys binging. It's what you get most excited about. It's what you look forward to. It's more fun than anything else. You would rather eat than be with your family. Like, if you end the binging, what if the biggest joy and excitement in your life is lost? And you know what, you guys, I totally felt this way. Like, I got more joy out of food and eating than anything else. And I mean, it freaked me out, but that's really how it was in my crazy days. Like, it was so blown out of proportion, but like I thought that was just how I was. Like, I just loved food, and I couldn't imagine my life without that, and it really scared me. But I wanted freedom more. And you know, being a normal eater now, it's been amazing to see that I've lost the joy over food. But it's not a big deal because, I mean, nothing is that exciting. Like, food is just like not that cool. But I didn't lose the joy out of my life. Other things in my life are my joy now, like people and family and new experiences. And what I realize now is that my distorted attention on food actually stole the joy that I could have been experiencing from other areas of my life that are honestly just like more important to me. Number 6, what if I try and fail? What if you really went all in? What if you got the help that you needed? And after everything you've tried, what if that thing you tried is just another thing that you failed at? Like, could you take one more failure? And I get it. And I know that can be so scary. And the moment that personally for me changed that was when I asked myself this question: am I going to die a binge eater? And I saw that if I didn't fix this, that this would be the rest of my life. So I shifted from the fear of, what if I try and fail, to the fear of, if I don't find a way out of this, I am guaranteed to fail and I will be a binge eater for the rest of my life. So what if the one thing that you're afraid to try is the way that would have gotten you free, but you passed it up because of fear. Ask yourself, what is your worst fear if this keeps going? And then pick your fear. Everything in my life is better without binge eating, you guys. I didn't know that that was the case before I got free. Now I know. Everything is better without binge eating. Everything. And that freedom is just a joy every day. And I had all of those fears, but none of them were true. They were just the same chatter that kept me in the cycle of the bulimia. So if you feel ready to be done with this, even if you're full of fear, you could just take that next first step. You could just take that first little step toward freedom. You can go to lydialifestyle.com. You can book a free session. You can join the Facebook group if you're not already in it. Just move in that direction of hope. So you can go to lydialifestyle.com. There are a whole bunch of resources and options for you there. And if you just picked one thing, I would just say, just if there is a spot available, just snag a free session or just get on the waiting list. I know the waiting list is pretty long right now. And I promise that I'm going to get to you guys. Like, we're putting everything in place so we can. There's just a huge, huge demand right now for those sessions. But I care about you guys, and we're trying to get you on the calendar as soon as we can. So hang in there, keep on playing in the group, keep on coming here and sharing and, taking part in the amazing support that we have here. And this is Lydia, the Lifestyle Coach, signing off. Mwah.